Hello friends, good morning. Today is our third class of sociology. This class will be discuss institutions. What is the institution? Institution is a set of rules. Because the institution is a procedure of creating some neat fulfillment of any units by a human being. Like is a there are feelings, fulfill behavior, and controlling a human nature. Like that, what is the meaning? An institution in a established, suitable, and the reorganized system of established norms, rules, and the procedure that the organized behavior within the society meet collective need and or a function. When the society will be created or some need via fulfill a institution. That is a institution. Institution provide a framework. Institution provide a framework for the social order, fulfill basic social function like a families, education, economy, religion, politics, and transmit of the culture from one generation to another generations and norms and live across of this generation because the creation create any institution that we transfer to our culture for one generation to another generation because institution may be established by any some functions and the some basic need of a society. That is the how many definition and how many scholar to be produce a institution like that. First is the structure of society that organized to meet the need of people cheerfully through well-established procedure via Bogarts. Bogart like the uh, institution is maybe a set of rules and how to need fulfill of human being. Next is a institution are the established from coordination of procedure characteristics of group activity. Maybe any group members will be create a thought and thought after a thought will be generate any institution and institution may be fulfill for our need or a behavior. So that is a MacIver and phase. How may be organ of the institution? So in the sociology perspective, Sumner 1906 Sumner may be organized how to create of any institution. In 96 published a book Folkways. In the Folkways book, Sumner may be produced how many steps will we create any institution. So first of all, human brain create a thought. First of all, thought any human or create any thought how to produce or how to establish any institution. With the institution is a many long time duration, so will create any institution. First, any human being of one thought is an individual procedure of every human being, but that is a thought is again to again by a human being. That's a created any habits. If the person will be create any thought and thought may be generate for another times, so that will be a habit and after a habit will be used for any other persons, use will be any other person. Thought is an individual procedure, but that thought is maybe useful for any other person and any other person he will be apply for our, that is a Folkways. And after for that Folkways is accept by society norm and change for the one generation to another generation, this is a customs. And after for customs, society may be produce that customs maybe rules, some rules as soon as a possible for the human being. This is a positive way of our society. So that is called a morus. And after for morus society maybe establish are written rules, maybe a written rules. That's called a institution, because institution is a follow for the every written rules. Institution follow a written rules, written rules for every society member, written rules for members. So that's a called a institution. Maybe a very long time will we create any institution, because the procedure or a step, thought, habit, fog based custom, morals, and the after for the morals institution will be create. That's a step of Sumner in the book of Fogways, book published in the 96. Next is how many characteristics of institution. So like that, first is define a purpose. Every institution wise the establish, so define any specific purpose or a goal. Like second, symbol. Every institution define any symbol, any specific symbol of our institutions. It's like that. So that symbol is a different between any other or established at that moment's institution. Next is a structure of law. Every institution will be create any structure of our institution, like how to work done, how to work, and the interaction process with the instruction structures member, and how to service or provide any work, and how to fulfill for our need. So that's a create a structure of law, create a permanency, because the institution maybe create a some long time duration. So that's categories of permanency, greater permanency, not a permanent features but greater permanency, because the institution maybe provide any need. So after so we need this transfer to one generation to another generation is a long duration. So this characteristics are greater permanency. Social in nature, because the institution fulfill the social need. So that's a characteristics of the social nature of every institution. Like there's an educational institution, like the moral educational institution, like the relational institution, like the economical education. That is the social in nature, controlling and the regulating of human being, because the every institution control our behavior and control the situations and manage for the every activity with the according to a written rules. Like that, for example, any institution like as a school, like as a college, because in that institution school maybe properly written rules, which time is a school and a college will be open, how maybe communicate the student to a teacher, and how maybe establish of every membership. Like in a school, like that a principal, director, teacher, and also a peon is more a post, yeah, status generation, right? And every institution follow for that culture, every establishment stable culture, and that culture may be produced for the one generation to another generation. Mostly very important fact of institution is a written rules, where the written rules is followed, that's a institution. Like that the marriage is also a institution, because the every time marriage follow for the every written rules. So marriage is a institution. Like next, importance of institution. How, why you are important of institution? Why? First of all, control of the human behavior. First, in that college or a school, control our nature. A controlling procedure must be compulsory of our society, because the why should you go another field? Any human being, controlling procedure must be compulsory in our society, and institution provide a controlling of human behavior via fixed time. But because the controlling prakriya, first is a primary control, is like that of family, friend circle, and also a society. This is a primary controlling units. Next, second controlling unit like as the institution, like as the organization, and third control unit is that the law, government norms, and others. So there are three basic control units. First is a primary control unit, second is a, and third control unit is a government. And second is helpful for fulfill human needs. When the person prestige in our society, there is some need, create a some need. When the person maybe need, how to fulfill for that need. So then the institution, like as a, I know that the education. Suppose that I can accept for the BA or a MA, and why? So that a need, that are my need, but that need is fulfill for any institution like as a college. So the college is a fulfill for our human need. Institution transfer for culture, because the institution is stored when the establishment time to the current time, that culture, and that culture may be transferred to one generation to another generation. When the student is come in our college and at fixed time, but institution is established here and transfer to generation, transfer and transfer also. So institution is a transfer for the culture. Simplification of work, any institution simplify that work, because the education, like that education, study of the book, but you are achieve a BA or a MA or any other education, but comes to a college, so that teachers maybe simplify how to learn, how to study, when a student may be satisfied. So that the simplification of work by any institutions depend on the which field of institution. Next is helpful of social welfare, and every institution depend on our purpose, like that social norms, like that social welfaring. So institution may be produce a helping of our social. Next, helpful and the personality development. Every institution related of our purpose. So student and the member is the personality developed by an institution. Provide the social support and the simplify of the social action. That's it, the main importance of our institution. Any institutions like that. That's the class of our institution. And thank for watching this video.